tonight. Now that the snow has melted, the continued issue of debris and garbage in the backcountry has once again revealed itself. Plus, there's a research group at UNBC looking into new water and sanitation solutions for small communities. And drought conditions have had a major impact on BC wine production and, in turn, local wine producers in Prince George. Good evening, I'm Eddie Huband, and welcome to CKPG News. We begin tonight in local crime. 2 people have been arrested after a multi-unit investigation into diversion of safer supply prescription drugs. Prince George RCMP say that multiple days of the investigation into the alleged trafficking of safe supply medication provided investigators with enough evidence to arrest 2 individuals who were seen allegedly exchanging illicit drugs for safe supply drugs. A search warrant was executed on the 3000 block of Nechako Drive, the home of one of the persons arrested. Investigators seized more safe supply prescription drugs, suspected methamphetamine and fentanyl, as well as a small amount of cash, counterfeit cigarettes, and additional evidence of drug trafficking. The suspects were released without charges pending the full results of the investigation. Both are known to police for similar offenses.
In this particular investigation, our police officers put a lot of their time and effort into tracking the actual diversion and some of the hand-to-hand exchanges that were happening between people who were prescribed the safer supply medications and those who were purchasing those either for cash or more illicit drugs. So, this gave us definitely some more grounds to definitively say these are diverted safer supply drugs that we are seeing and finding.
And police are investigating a head-on crash that killed 2 teenagers and seriously injured another man in northeastern BC over the weekend. A statement from Chetwynd RCMP says that officers responded to the crash along Highway 97 just after midnight yesterday. The Mounties say a black 2001 Dodge 2500 pickup truck, as well as a gray 2011 Ford F350, crashed along the route at the top of Wabi Hill. They say a 19-year-old male driver of the Dodge, as well as a passenger, a 15-year-old boy, were killed in the crash, while the 21-year-old man driving the Ford was taken to hospital with life-threatening injuries. An update now on the police standoff from the Bon Voyage Inn that we reported on Friday evening. Managing Director Chris Matz says the police presence on the hotel property was a case of mistaken identity. He says RCMP were looking for a person of interest who owns a white Jeep. They spotted a white Jeep on the hotel property and responded. CKPG News was at the scene on Friday, noting at least 6 officers with guns drawn and a police service dog team. Matt says the property manager who was on duty that day has no qualms with how RCMP conducted itself, noting officers were concerned for the safety of all involved, but he did say the case of mistaken identity was unfortunate, and as social media comments indicate, it wasn't a good thing for the reputation of the inn. And in other news, when snow melts away, it reveals evidence of some people's disregard for the environment. These people are dumping their garbage in secluded places, leaving it for someone else to pick up. Dave Branco has more now on the ongoing garbage battle in the woods.
Over the past few weekends, dedicated community members have taken upon themselves to patrol the forested areas within our city limits. Their efforts have successfully collected truckloads of trash, even from areas just a few hundred meters from the landfill.
I'd say a 2-minute drive at best from the Foothills landfill. We are a 30-second drive from the Elks Center and a minute from Heather Park Elementary School. We're right next to a park, and sadly, this is one of the major spots that we clean up multiple times a year. At times, the trash reveals a home address, but that doesn't always prove who dumped it. You've got a dump site and there's a piece of mail in it. It's got a name on it, and you can prosecute or you can dump it on their lawn. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We wish it was that easy where you could make a positive ID from garbage, but simply finding that piece isn't enough in the eyes of the courts. Despite their efforts, the backcountry cleanup crew has seen a trend emerge. Some individuals persist in their illegal dumping practices. Disgruntled landlords, bitter exes in domestic disputes, we'll call them, shady disposal companies, all have been caught and dealt with with these illegal dump sites. There was a case a couple of years ago of somebody that was dumping south of town and identified positively by the social media and the CO service, but it was a domestic dispute, and the person whose garbage that was being left behind had no idea.
Since the cleanup crews began nearly 10 years ago, they have carried thousands of pounds of trash to the landfill.
We've cleaned up probably over 100 dump sites just in the Prince George region, and well over 125,000 pounds of garbage. That doesn't include metals and recyclables like household appliances. That doesn't include boats and boat trailers, campers, or the 3 vehicles we pulled out of Buckhorn Lake last year.
If you encounter illegal dumping, you can play a crucial role in the battle. Simply call the RAP hotline. Your report will be instrumental in the effort to maintain the cleanliness and beauty of our city's natural areas. Dave Branco, CKPG News.
There's an urgent need to find sustainable water and sanitation solutions in the face of climate change and environmental challenges. And a research group at UNBC is exploring off-grid solutions for small and rural communities. Anna Burrows brings us the story.
Water is a vital resource that we all depend on, and right now we are navigating challenges posed to our water supply through population growth, climate change, and expanding industries. The Water and Sanitation Holistic Technologies Research Group, or WASH-T, is looking into the advantages of decentralized water and sanitation solutions.
Most people require some sort of off-grid solution in rural Canada. Also 20 minutes away from downtown Prince George, people need sound, good water and sanitation solutions. So those are the ones that we're working towards. We call them intensifying. So maybe with the same type of infrastructure that you'll be able to process better, more wastewater, let's say, or bring about safer water to yourself.
The WASH-T Research Group is also looking if the current approaches being taken towards water and sanitation are feasible for the future.
We know, for example, that this year 70% of the Canadian territory is under the second year of drought. So let's say the solutions that we have normally had or traditionally have been useful, we know that they may not be able to be as useful anymore because of the changing climate.
And there is also an issue when it comes to expenses.
Our conventional water and sanitation solutions have a high price tag. So that's also one of the things we're looking at. How to enhance the feasibility. Our solutions can be, they're nature-based, so things like constructed wetlands, for example, lagoons. So we want to make sure that they can integrate seamlessly with already centralized solutions.
However, off-grid or decentralized solutions like WASH-T is looking at do come with challenges of their own.
These solutions can face regulatory barriers, technical capabilities, and funding constraints. And that's why we consider that these events are very important, because they are specifically made to address these issues by building networks, by sharing knowledge among the stewards.
WASH-T is taking a deeper dive into this topic and is inviting everyone to a public discussion on Wednesday, April 10th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Two Rivers Gallery. Adam Burrows, CKPG News.
Cheryl Jan is on tonight's Council Beat. She joins us now just to preview what's going on tonight. So Cheryl, what is at the top of the list for tonight's Council agenda?
Everything is about crime and public safety tonight. Let's start with the first thing on the agenda, and that is the Mayor is proposing a special task force on public safety. And I'm going to read this directly, and this is what the proposal is. The purpose of the committee is to undertake observation and collection of crime statistics and explore solutions through tested best practices learned from other local and other jurisdictions to address public safety in the downtown of Prince George. And that's exactly what that's all about, especially in the area east of Queensway, which is on the other side of Queensway.
It's definitely an issue that has been top of mind for many Prince George community members of late with the amount of crime that we've seen so far this year. So the mayor looking to address that, obviously.
Exactly. So the committee, if council approves the committee, it will be made up of the mayor, 3 city council members, and 3 members from the committee itself. The RCMP and downtown Prince George will be part of that committee, but they will only be there as kind of a resource, they won't be a voting member.
Right. Anything else of note on tonight's agenda meeting? On tonight's agenda for the council meeting.
Okay, so there is what's called a notice of motion. I mean, it's being put forward by Councillor Kyle Sampson and supported by Councillors Tim Bennett and Corey Ramsey, also to do with crime.
Okay.
But a notice of motion means I'm just putting you on notice. And we're not going to talk about it tonight, but we're going to put you on notice. That's going to be talked about at the next meeting. And it is to do also with community safety, a town hall meeting that they would like to see happen on May 1st.
Oh, okay. So to get public input on what the public wants to see done about crime.
Exactly.
Interesting stuff.
So their concern is to provide an opportunity for community members, business owners, stakeholders to share their concerns, ask questions, share ideas with the key City Prince George staff, and complex social issues within the downtown, and particularly in the community as a whole.
Okay, so crime is the top of the list tonight for council. We will have a follow-up tomorrow and throughout the week on what goes down at that meeting. Cheryl, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, dear.
And in other news, starting Monday, British Columbians will have access to a free spring COVID-19 vaccine booster to maintain and extend protection for themselves and their loved ones against serious illness from COVID-19. The spring booster will be available throughout the province at pharmacies, regional health authority clinics, some primary care offices, and community health centers. The spring vaccine remains free and available for everyone 6 months and older. While the peak of the respiratory illness season has passed, the SARS-CoV-2 virus continues to circulate at lower levels in the community. BC's COVID-19 spring program is focused on providing vaccines to those most at risk of severe illness or complications and people who have not yet received an updated vaccine dose. People are still encouraged to wear masks in healthcare settings as appropriate to continue to cover coughs and stay away from others when feeling sick. Our province is well known for many things, with wine production being one of them, but recent climate catastrophes have devastated many vineyards, particularly in the Okanagan, meaning we could be in for a shortage quite soon. But what does this mean for our local wine producers here in Prince George? Tommy Osborne is here to tell us.
99% of BC's wine crops have been lost since 2022, a devastating blow to our province's previously flourishing wine industry.
2 winters ago, there was a huge kill-off where the temperatures dropped below 20 degrees in the Okanagan and killed about 50% of the grape crop at that time. This year, there was another significant freeze in January, which killed another 50%.
With virtually all of the grapes in the main producing region of the Okanagan dead, Bell says we'll, of course, see a big reduction in supply of local BC wines, although the Canadian wine industry as a whole should still be fine for the most part. But what about for the Northern Lights Estate Winery specifically? Well, they actually escaped unscathed.
Luckily at our winery, because we do go with cold hardy fruits other than grape, we are able to actually be a little more resilient, and we're going to not have that same disruption in supply.
Bell says his heart goes out to all vineyards struggling, and he wants to do what he can to keep that local BC wine presence in stores all across the province. Not only is it a great business opportunity, he believes in the importance of supporting fellow local wine producers.
We just want to help the entirety of the industry not have a diminished shelf space and a presence. We want to make sure that we maximize the presence, because we see a rising tide floating all boats, including fruit wine and grape wine, as long as it's local to BC.
While fruit wines are obviously different than traditional grape wines, bringing its own production process and unique tastes, Bell believes this is also a good chance to have more people try fruit wines, as the 2 wines aren't radically different.
We think there's a great opportunity there, but having said that, I think that people who like grape wines, people who like fruit wines, there is some crossover as well.
In Bell's and many other winemakers' opinions, there's no doubt we'll see a severe shortage, but it's likely that won't happen for at least another year. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
The BC government quadrupled the annual funding given towards helping newcomers in the province, and our Immigration and Multicultural Services Society is one of many across BC that will benefit from this increase. The IMSS will receive $370,000 per year over a 3-year span, with an option to extend to 5 years to help expand and increase the services it can provide. The IMSS says this will be a big help, particularly in addressing the settlement sector, as that's been significantly impacted over the years by policy changes and the pandemic. The funding will also support two other programs, one of which focuses on refugees and humanitarian populations, and the other focuses on a broad range of services to naturalized Canadian citizens and the most temporary residents.
I'm really very excited when we got this funding for next 3 years. It is a stability funding from the provincial government, as well as we give the opportunity to the newcomers who is coming to Canada. They get more services and eligibility. We can help them to out more programs.
As of this morning, the lowest gas price in Prince George was sitting at $1.66.9 per litre at Costco. The lowest price in the province is in Quesnel at $1.62.9 per litre. Manitoba currently has the lowest fuel prices on average in the country at $1.42.2 per litre, while BC has an average price of $1.95.7 per litre.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Try one of our delicious stuffed cheesy breads, paired up with chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
The Prince George Spruce Kings kicked off their postseason in Penticton against the very tough squad over the weekend. Anthony Correa is here to break it all down.
Prince George taking on Penticton, Game 1 of the BCHL playoffs for both teams. The Spruce Kings looking to upset the number 1 seed in the Interior Conference. First period and PG on the attack. Owen Goodbrand tries shoving a puck in, but Will Ingman's there to say no, and we remain scoreless. Then later in the period, it's Penticton striking first, finding a loose puck in the crease and putting it past Charlie Zolan. 1-0 heading to the second. Spruce Kings with a glorious chance to start the middle frame as Kazumo Sasaki with a breakaway, but it's blocked away by Will Ingman and Penticton remains in front. The Vs would double their lead halfway through the second as a point shot finds its way through traffic. They would add one more before locking it down in the third period. Prince George pressing but can't get a puck to the back of the net. Game 1 goes to Penticton, 3-0 final. On Saturday, it's deja vu and it's a similar result for Prince George. Another 3-0 loss as the Spruce Kings failed to record a goal over the weekend. Despite that, players are still confident for games 3 and 4 this week.
I thought we played 2 solid games against Penticton. They're a good team, and we kept the score pretty close, and we were in the game, so that's what we want. We want to be in the fight going into the third period, and we've been setting ourselves up pretty well, so just got to get some more scoring opportunities there.
I mean, we had some grade A chances. We hit a couple posts, but they'll come. Chances will come. We just got to keep doing what's right and work our systems.
Like I mentioned, games 3 and 4 take place at Copon Memorial Arena. Tickets on sale for Tuesday and Wednesday. It's playoff hockey in Prince George as the Spruce Kings look to force Game 5 and beyond.
And speaking of playoff hockey, the first round of the WHL playoffs has wrapped up after 2 final games on Sunday night. And this means Prince George Cougars have found out their second round opponent. It's the Kelowna Rockets. This will be the third time in history that these two teams will clash in the playoffs. And it should be a high-scoring battle. Both these teams were 1-2 in the BC division in scoring this year. Despite Prince George owning a 6-1-0-1 regular season record against Kelowna, the series might be a little bit closer than some think. 6 of those 8 games were decided by a single goal, and 3 required overtime or a shootout. With no shortage of drama between these two teams all year, it should be one of the most exciting series of the second round, and it kicks off Friday, April 12th at the CN Centre.
We know what kind of team they are. We've obviously played them a lot throughout the year, and we don't like them, that's for sure. I think they're the team that always puts up a fight against us, so it's going to be a good series here.
We're so fortunate too. You look around the leagues and see attendance 2,000, 3,000. I know we're getting close to 6,000 every night, so obviously it's an advantage for us, and the fans are so amazing, and to come out and hear the roar of the CN and all the chants and everything. It's special, and we feel off it, and it honestly it makes us want to win even more. So
I know one thing, we don't like them, and we'll keep it that way. That's for sure.
The TSX is down 4 points to close at 22,260. The Dow Jones is down 11 points to close at 38,893. And Canfor went down 17 cents to close at $15.53.
Good evening again, everyone. We're in for a few more showers and then partly cloudy as we go towards the rest of the evening. Gusty winds will likely ease up a little bit, those southerly winds around midnight or so. Satellite map as we take you back from earlier today. Of course, the clouds and the showers persisting throughout most of the afternoon and through the morning as well. So this is the future cast. We've got a bit of a break right about here. So early tomorrow morning, we might have some sunshine there. And then through the afternoon, it's a pretty good chance of showers or flurries in the mix again, because we are looking or anticipating that next wave of moisture moving through. After that, though, Wednesday looks to be sort of our in-between systems sort of a day. It is a very kind of a yo-yo weather forecast for the next few days, back and forth. And yes, we will get a break here and there. But yeah, quite unsettled throughout parts of our day tomorrow. 9 degrees. This is primarily through the afternoon. 9 for Fort St. John. We're looking at mainly cloudy with a few sunny breaks there down through the southern interior and the Okanagan as well. Going to see a little bit of sunshine in the mix, but not a lot in terms of showers. We're seeing a lot of that along the south coast tomorrow. Very wet day ahead for them. Wet one there today as well. 9 in Fort St. James. Mixed precipitation in the forecast. That's the same for us in McBride. 12, so a little bit milder than it was today down through Quesnel for the afternoon tomorrow, and actually seeing an improvement in temperatures over the next few days for sure. Quick peek across Canada. Wet one, of course, as I mentioned, tomorrow along the west coast, and then a lot of beautiful weather in many other areas. 15 in Regina and Winnipeg, 16 Montreal, sunshine, and a lot a lot cooler rather over towards the Maritimes. So sun cloud mix late into the week. Really, as I mentioned, it's Wednesday. We're sort of in between systems, and a slight chance of showers going back into our Thursday, but later into the week and into parts of the weekend, potentially we'll have some sunshine. Burns Lake, a little bit of snow tonight, down to -5, so still quite chilly. Afternoon showers tomorrow, and the same for Wednesday, Thursday. Mackenzie -2 overnight tonight. Partly cloudy skies expected. Afternoon showers throughout the day tomorrow, and then a break on Wednesday. That's when you're looking at mostly sunshine throughout parts of the day. Early half, cloudier through the later half, and snow and rain in the morning Thursday. So a lot of pockets of precipitation, if you will, going forward. We do have periods of snow and rain late tonight in McBride. That will carry into the morning hours as well. A high of 6 tomorrow, and then mostly cloudy on Wednesday, but a drier day. Plenty of clouds Thursday. So again, the clouds thickening up for Thursday. And then actually temperatures look really good going into the weekend, if you can believe it, up to 19 or even 20 degrees on Saturday. Quesnel anticipating to see a pretty unsettled night tonight, down to -1, and up to about 12 tomorrow with a passing shower or two. Cloudy on Wednesday. You do have a break though from any of the moisture coming through. And then for us, we've got some sunshine actually through parts of the day on Wednesday. Mostly cloudy though later into the day as we look at that next system coming through, bringing a chance of showers on Thursday. But tonight, partly cloudy. Tomorrow throughout the afternoon in particular, actually, not what we're seeing here. We are looking at mainly a chance of showers or flurries mixed in there.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Try one of our delicious stuffed cheesy breads, paired up with chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
Last night, the UNBC Timberwolves held their annual athletics banquet, where the T-Wolves Student Athlete Society revealed the total amount raised for this year's MVP of the month, Grace Calhoun. Through the Fill the Bus campaign, which had over $4,000 donated in just bottles, plus the dodgeball tournament, where the winner donated their winnings back to the Calhoun family, as well as donations through a GoFundMe page, TSAS was able to raise over $7,000 for this year's MVP, with major thanks to the community for all their help.
Yeah, we were super honored to announce last night that we raised just over $7,000 total for Grace, a member of our UNBC community and the Prince George community. And so we just want to give a big thank you to everyone at UNBC and everyone in Prince George who came out and supported us and donated online, donated bottles, participated in our dodgeball tournament. It was really a big effort, but it was quite successful in the end. I talked to Grace quite a bit, and it was pretty meaningful. Just, she really appreciates what the club's done for her, and she gave me some pretty heartfelt words of thank you. And so I'm just glad that we were able to make a difference for her and her family.
Sticking with the T-Wolves, the women's basketball team looks to shape out their roster, announcing the commitment of guard Lexi Bloomhagen. Lexi is soon to be graduate of W.H. Croxford High School, has spent the last 3 seasons playing varsity for the Cavaliers. She's a smart player both on and off the court, making the W.H. Croxford honor roll in each of the previous 3 years. The Airdrie Alberta product received the Rocky View School Division's Coaches Award back in grade 10. She followed that up being named a league all-star during her grade 11 season. She'll join the T-Wolves next year and in the years following. Sunday's traditionally a day of rest and relaxation. Well, not in this countdown, as we bring you thrilling moments from yesterday's action and a warning to the viewers, the Toronto Blue Jays, they might be on the wrong side of one of them. Still, enjoy the best of the best in tonight's CKP3.
Starting with an ankle breaker.
3 to shoot, gets down, lets it fly for the lead. Clippers lead by 2!
Clippers star Paul George has the Cavaliers lost with his moves as he nails the game-winning shot with 7 seconds to go. Next, it's slam time.
1-1 game. Soto's at third, Judge at second, Rizzo's at first. Deep to left field, there it goes! See ya! A grand slam for Stanton. Oh, what a shot! It's 5-1 Yankees.
Another disastrous game for the Toronto Blue Jays. Giancarlo Stanton says, "I'll end this one." Listen to the sound of this home run. Finally, clutch shots.
Bullock pressuring. A 3 will tie it. A handoff to Luka. Back to Exxon. Got it!
Dante Exum with a crazy buzzer beater 3 to force OT for the Dallas Mavericks. A huge part in the win as Exum's clutch play takes top spot in tonight's CKP3.
Hello from the CKPG Today's side. Got a great show over here, including some information you might find useful, especially if you're thinking, boy, am I sick of those blue cupboards in my kitchen. Well, they're not trendy anymore, but we're going to talk about what is trendy today with new look interiors in our home improvement segment. Going to be a great one and give you some information if you're looking to change up your kitchen, give it a new life. Yeah, maybe it's the inspiration you need. Yeah, my childhood, I definitely remember some kitchens that, yeah, the cupboards maybe, I'm glad they're repainted now, let's just say that. What about you on the other side? Any funny kind of kitchen-y things that are maybe not so trendy anymore you remember from your childhood?
I would say, that's a good question. Probably the paint job might, from my old kitchen growing up, might be a little bit goofy in today's world, but that's the best I got for that one, Caden. But this week on Forever Friends, that's how we're closing our show today. We are at the North Caribou BC SPCA to meet Rutabaga, a 4-year-old dog that's trying to lose a little bit of weight. Sam Benison has more.
Meet Rutabaga, also known as Rudy. She's a 4-year-old Shih Tzu cross who loves people almost as much as she loves her bed.
She needs a local foster or foster to adopt because she's on a weight loss journey. So Rutabaga needs to lose a few pounds before her spay surgery, so that's what we're looking for.
Rutabaga is an absolute cuddle bug who still gets the zoomies when she's around her favorite people. As for who her favorite people are, it's everyone.
She is very, very calm. She seems to love everybody that she meets. We did have a few kids in here just visiting her too, so she does well with kids. Yeah, she seems to love everything.
Rutabaga does need to get spayed before she can find her forever home, but is still up for being fostered until she's ready for surgery.
Just like any person or someone trying to lose weight, you have to properly account how many calories you would need for her to maintain and slowly lose.
If you require some of Rutabaga's love, you can fill out the adoption papers at the North Caribou BCSPCA online or in person. Sam Benison, CKPG News.
I feel you, Rutabaga. I need to lose some weight too. All right, that's our show for tonight, folks. Thanks so much for joining us as always, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.